Welcome to Wednesday night happy hour, everybody. And this is kind of a different one, isn't it? Because we have Max and we have Lamar
And one big picture.
and we have me, and we're all in the same place together with our, what is that expression? We're all in our places with bright, shiny faces. And we're super glad to see all of you. So cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Cheers.
cheers, cheers.
Cheers.
Max, you leave me hanging.
Oh, sorry.
Apparently, it's bad luck when someone cheerses you to cheers back and not take a drink. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Do you
Can't take
need
a
more?
drink
Do you
before-
need more? No, I don't think so.
I've got more.
No, I mean bad luck. No, I didn't.
No. We got plenty of that. We got that Bob Sheri. Look.
Oh, it is the Bob and Sheri luck. Yes, it is, and it's not the good luck.
Yeah.
Let me say hi to John Callahan and Suzanne Banks and Jenny Waybright. Cheers, Jenny. It's a little unusual to be doing this on a Wednesday, but you know how like this time of the summer is. People have a lot of conflicts in their schedules, and we didn't want to cancel again.
No.
You know, so here we are on a
Because it would
Wednesday
hate to miss y'all.
Yeah. So let's see. I want to say hi to Sherry Wallace and Cheryl Newton and Teresa Broom and Adrian Boyd, and Joe Woodson and Dawn Boyer. One more sip of this wine, and those letters will be too small, and I'll just be saying, "Hey, thanks for coming." Oh, if it isn't Ed Erdley in Grand Junction, buddy, cheers! You betcha. Yeah, so we want to hear all about your day.
Yes.
Because we're trying real hard not to relive our day.
What's everybody saying?
Hello from Boston.
Yes.
Oh, Regina's in Boston. Yeah,
Yes.
I saw that you said on Facebook you were going to
Aaron's in Lexington,
joining
Kentucky.
us from Boston.
Aaron's-
Decatur, Georgia.
Aaron's listened to us
Decatur.
for a long time.
And
That's where
Jean
my uncle and aunt lived that had money.
in Decatur.
Decatur.
Is Decatur fancy, Georgia?
It was fancy Georgia when yeah, they lived in some park or something. But
Isn't it funny how because I know Max's does, how everybody's family has that one aunt and uncle with some money.
They got money.
And they live different. Like they're your relatives, but they live real different from your family.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And when you go to their house, which is only how many times in your childhood do you remember going to your aunt and uncle's house?
God.
Maybe about 4 times.
Oh no, we went a lot.
Oh,
And I went to bed every time.
see, that's
Every
why
time.
I'm shocked that you were invited back.
Every time.
Because it's been our experience that
None
the
of my
family
cousins
money-
wanted to sleep
Well-
with me. Nobody wanted to sleep with me because I went to bed every time.
So my great aunt and great uncle had a marble staircase. I know you're thinking,
Wow,
really?
that is very
Yes.
gone with the
They
wind.
had a marble staircase, and on the landing was a grandfather clock. And my father did not want my brother and I playing on the marble staircase because I think they thought I might damage the marble staircase.
Well,
You know, so
Not your
they
head.
didn't call you stumble bum.
Not your childish skull.
no, we're concerned about that at all.
Yeah.
Hey, Marlene and Shannon, who's in Minnesota, land of 10,000 mosquitoes. Oh man, this time of the year too. But isn't it so beautiful this time of the year? Oh my gosh, it's still light out so late, and the mosquitoes can still find you so easily.
Jen Benfield, Jen.
Hi, Jen. Ed wants to know who the camera person is. Heather is the camera person tonight, but you don't come say hi, Heather. Yeah, there she is.
There we go.
There she is. She's busy and decided not to pop her window up. Where is Bob? I'm going to just be honest. Bob joins us when he feels like
Yep.
it. And he doesn't when he doesn't. I mean, I could dress that up. If y'all want me to, let me try again. Bob had another engagement.
Yeah.
He had a conflict.
Yes.
I mean, Bob, he just comes when he wants to.
Well, and he should.
Bob-
And he should.
Exactly. Bob is like that outdoor cat that lives in the neighborhood but doesn't really belong to anyone. He might come to your house to eat, and then you might not see him for a week.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
He's old enough to do what he wants to do.
It's very much. And who Marlene asked where we are. We had to. We're all together this afternoon because we were shooting some videos.
Yes.
So that's why we're all in this,
Commercials
in the
that
same
will
place.
happen
Yeah,
later.
yeah.
Yes.
You'll see, and you'll believe me, you'll see them when
Yes.
when they pop. Oh, Cheryl Newton. Well, Bob carries the show on the daily. Oh, and thank God.
He's got broad shoulders. He's got broad shoulders. I mean, yeah. He's got to rest. He's got to rest.
Listen, if that man didn't bring it so hard, I might have to work.
Yes.
Can you
yes.
imagine
Oh, yeah.
such a scenario?
No, that's
Yeah,
exactly
yeah,
right.
yeah.
No.
Adam Parker, hello from Worcester, Massachusetts. Love you all. So exciting that you're all together. It's super fun for us,
it
too.
is. It is.
I mean, like
We don't do it enough.
Max and I kind of live near each other, so we do see each other
From time to time.
Yeah.
And Lamar lives near where my youngest goes to school,
Yeah.
so I'm in his part of the world a bunch. But it's super fun being all together. Lamar, according to Erica Bonifant, you are a hoot, and she loves you so much.
I like being a hoot. No, yeah, I'm all about the hoot.
I can't believe.
Thank you so much.
Don't ever screw up around him, though. He'll continually bring it up.
No, I wanted to say.
Low hanging fruit, baby. Low hanging fruit.
I wanted to say that I was so impressed just now when you said that none of your cousins wanted to sleep with you because you wet the bed. See,
Yeah.
I love that. I don't think that anybody should carry shame or secrets because it's like a slow working poison that just rusts you out.
Yeah.
If none of your cousins wanted to sleep with you because you wet the bed, you just own that.
I
And live it
understand.
because
Not
you
a
don't do
problem.
that anymore.
No, it's been years. It's been years.
I feel like Carla would have mentioned it.
Yeah. That's true.
She's
That's
not
true.
one.
That's
She's
true.
not one to keep that kind.
Listen,
of
when my aunt and uncle would come down to see us, and I was a little kid, and they had a '63 Chevrolet, was white with leather interior, and so my uncle was very particular, and so when everybody got ready to go and got cleaned up, they would stand on the porch of my grandmother and granddaddy's house, and you got to understand now these are my family that's got money, but the grandmother and granddaddy don't have an indoor toilet. Okay, so it's a whole thing. But when they would get all cleaned up, and he would carry both of the boys and hold them up and take them and put them in the car
so they
wouldn't track anything in the car. And he would carry them both and put them in the car. Oh yeah. That car never had no dirt in it. No, not at all.
When I was super, super little, this was before we moved to Wyoming, before my parents split up. We went to dinner at the house of some people with you. Even as a kid, you can walk in and go, "Oh, this is not."
Hey, something. Yeah, this is a different deal.
This is different. And I think it was a guy that my father worked with at the gas company, or maybe went hunting with. I don't know. But the whole ride to this house, my mom drilled it into us. Don't ask for anything. Don't touch anything. Don't do anything. Don't say anything. Right. And so I was just a pumpkin-headed kid. And so I get there and, it's all little boys and me. And my mom's done those pigtails where she pulls them so tight, it's like a facelift. You're like Joan Crawford and Mommy Dearest. And we go in and I follow my mom into the kitchen to help with dinner or whatever. And this lady was so nice. She's like, "Honey, would you like this? Would you like that?" And I've been told not to ask for anything, not to touch anything, not to say anything. So I'm just shaking my head. And finally she said something along the lines of, "Don't you speak?" And I told her, "I'm not allowed to talk or touch anything or ask for anything." I thought my mother was going to blow a gasket.
Neil Lacroix says hi. Nick wants to know where my Michigan hat is.
Michigan hat.
I get it, Nick. And
Yeah.
then somebody wants to know what kind of wine you're drinking.
Oh, I'm drinking. Tony, will you hand me the bottle? I want to show everybody.
Isn't that the Criminals?
It's I'm drinking Snoop tonight.
Oh, Snoop!
I'm drinking 19 Crimes Red. Let me get this right up to the camera.
The Olympic star. The star of the Olympics.
It's 19 Crimes Cali Red, and it is delicious. But we had an issue with the wine opener, and so I can't salvage the cork, so I'm gonna have to use a watt. You know what?
I tried to tell you, I wanted to help you, and you goes, "No, I got it." And the next thing I know, I see a paper towel stuck down in it, so you floated the cork.
Here's the thing. At first, I was like, "How will I preserve it?" And then I remembered We don't have leftover wine.
No.
It's for amateurs.
Look at Sandra Soki.
Sandra
Sandra!
Soki! Shut
Yes!
the door. What are you doing here tonight, girl?
Yes!
Cheers to Sandra.
Cheers to Sandra.
Cheers. Cheersies. We used to work with Sandra and her husband, Jim, Sports Confused Me,
Yes.
Jim Zoki.
Yes.
I've had people ask me, why don't you guys do Sports Confuse Me anymore? And that's because Jim works for a different company and they won't. That's just not how it works in our business.
Well, since Taylor, sports don't confuse you anymore. You've got a football team.
Oh yeah.
And you've got the sports is you're you're in it.
Thanks to Taylor's boyfriend, who's very good at football.
Yeah.
And he was also good on stage at the Air
He was.
I know, in all seriousness, I am such a member of Chiefs Kingdom. Max, you would die. I follow all these Kansas City Chiefs accounts on social media. And wait, this is the best part. Sometimes I understand what they're saying. Did you see
growth?
Did you see at the game? I don't know if it's a preseason game, a practice game, a scrimmage game. Patrick Mahomes threw the ball behind his back, and Travis, Taylor's boyfriend, caught it.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I was very.
Yeah, her husband Jim is a good guy. One day he said, "You know Jim Zoki?" And I said, "Yes." He goes, "What kind of guy is he?" And I said, "He helped me move." That's all you.
Oh
need to
God, he's a peach of a guy if he helped you move.
Jim and Sandra are the best people. And Sandra, I'm so excited that you're here with us tonight. That is so fun.
Thank you.
I mean, I guess I just have to ask her where you've been.
What? This is not our first happy hour, is it? Is this the first happy hour? I don't think it has been.
I mean, Facebook's not new, and neither are we.
But listen, thank you for making it.
Maybe you could come again. Yeah, I don't know. Let's not have this be the only time.
Yeah.
Hi to Lily Smith Kaiser. Oh, they have the 19 Crimes Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart in the cabinet.
Oh,
and girl, it's delicious. When you finally open that up, I was very impressed. Why should the front of the bottle be scanned? Oh, so here's the fun thing about 19 Crimes.
It does all
If you scan it, it takes you to like a little website, and usually it tells you the story of the person on the bottle. But we all know who Snoop is.
He's a criminal.
Yeah, it's just super interactive and fun. Yeah. And you can buy it at like Target. I mean, it's not some fancy
Costco. You
ridiculous
can get it at
Costco. Yes. In fact, that's where I got my last couple bottles of Snoop was at Costco. Yeah. And I brought Lamar a surprise.
Yes.
I brought Lamar one of his favorite bourbons tonight.
Yep. Delicious as always.
I wanted to get you Pappy Van Winkle, but
I know you did.
But I didn't want Tony to die because he has family.
Yeah. That would have been a new legend instead of the orange juice. I'll go ahead and tell you.
Tony, it would have taken like 27 days for and then Tony would have been like, "Godmother, let me ask you something. Did you spend $200 on a bottle of whiskey?" So hi from Carol Wilkins, Roy, Old Orchard Beach in Maine, and Aaron. Oh my gosh, Aaron says we need to come back to Kentucky and do a bourbon tour. Like I wouldn't do that tomorrow.
Oh, yes.
I would. That's one of those things. As many times as I've been to Kentucky, I've never had the chance to do the bourbon trail.
Not the trail, no.
And the tasting.
My son-in-law, when he married Alex, his groomsmen, they all went to Kentucky and they did the bourbon trail.
Can I tell you a bit of trivia I learned about bourbon barrels in Kentucky? There are more bourbon barrels than people in the state of Kentucky.
Well, that deserves a round of applause. I mean, Kentucky is famous for their bourbon.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's see. Hi, Renee from Wake Forest and Deborah Lee's in California. Anna wants to know, where is Bob? I locked him in the bathroom because I was tired of his nonsense. Yeah. He was whining and he was like, "I'm so tired and I need to eat some protein." So I said, "Why don't you go wash your hands?" And then I barricaded the door. Okay. Debbie Reddish is in Macon, Georgia.
Hello.
And is it Connie? Yeah, Connie, come back to South Dakota. Oh my gosh. I would love, one of my favorite things that I've ever done in my whole life was start at the eastern edge of South Dakota and drive all the way to Wyoming through the Badlands. I cannot. First of all, like
you've done that too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You can
beautiful.
hardly stay in your lane on the car if you're the driver because the beauty is so
Yeah.
spectacular.
Yeah, see, I'm back. Carla hates that for me because if I look to the right to look at something, I sort of drift to the right. If I look to the left, I drift. Yeah, I drift.
That's why when I'm always the passenger because Kevin's like, you stress me out. Because if I'm talking, the car goes whatever direction.
Which way? Yeah. The direction I look is where I'm headed.
Suzanne Young Banks says, "I love when everyone talks with big belly laughs and has a lot of fun. I needed that. It's been a week,
girl." Yes, it has. It was also a week last week. At the rate this is going,
that's right.
It's going to be a month. Last week, oh my gosh. Well, if you were with us on happy hour last week, it was me and Heather. It was me, Heather, and Heather's lizard and her cats. And
I showed up, but
Heather wasn't
late.
feeling well. Lamar had to run out and get something for Carla. And I was so slap happy. Like I don't even know what we did on happy hour this week.
Don't look at me. I wasn't there.
Let's see. Hi, Rick Jenkins in Canada. David Ledford drifting at 90 miles an hour, right?
There you go. There we go.
So we worked all together with Bob, and Lamar was driving and I was navigating. And Lamar drives, he's a really good driver. He drives fast, but the speed limit on the road we were on was 70. So it wasn't
so 86 is not crazy.
He felt that 86 was the appropriate response to a 70 mile an hour speed
that's
limit.
about right.
Bob told me when we got where we were going. Bob said, "Listen, I'm so stressed out from Lamar's driving, I can't even function." He was going 100 miles an hour. I was like, well, he wasn't. I mean, I was sitting right up front navigating. It was 100 miles.
It was a couple of times that we were trying to get around some people.
When we were passing
because you can't have people in front of you because that's dangerous. It's dangerous to have cars in front of you. As long as there's nothing in front of you but the open road, the odds of you getting in an accident are basically -3. It's ridiculous.
That's what I discovered on this car ride because Lamar would floor it and we'd zip around. And after like the fourth one of those, somebody must have said something because Lamar explained his philosophy.
Yes.
That the goal is to have no one in front of you.
Yeah, but you got to stay out of the left lane or they will stop you. You've got to pretend you're riding over in the right like everybody else. And then you sneak around, but you got to stay in the front.
I was at a promotion one time and I went with him. And so I had never ridden with him before. And we're going down the road and I said, "Buddy, what is the rush?" I said, "Are we short on time?" He said, "No." I said, "Why are we going so fast?" He went, "This is how I drive." And I went,
"Because I can."
"Oh, okay." And I said, and at the time he was driving a big car. And he said, "We're in a big car. We're safe."
Yeah.
And I went, "Really?
Oh, yeah.
None of it flips over? We're not."
We're not going to flip.
I have a theory, and it goes back to Lamar's childhood when your daddy took you to the bootlegger late at night on a school night.
Yeah.
Lamar, as a child, had a very big imagination, and whatever was happening to him, he finished it out like a movie in his head. At like 11, Lamar was an early NASCAR driver running from the bootleggers up in the holler. And as a result, I'm serious about this. As a result, I think that shaped him so much that's why. What do you think? Is that why you drive like that?
I don't know. I just, I like to get there fast.
Neil LaCroix, Lamar math. If two cars are on the road and you pass it, then the rate of acceleration to accidents are -3. He's going to teach that to his students.
Listen. If there's nothing in front of you to hit, you can't hit it. And if nothing can catch up to you, they can't hit you. So I think it's safe.
I'm a cruise control driver. So I hit the speed limit. Like okay, here's the difference between me and Lamar. If the speed limit is 70, I go 76 on cruise control. And I did start out driving, but we got to a gas station and Lamar was like, "Girl, let me take over. Why don't you rest?" And that's because he was coming out of his skin because I was only going 76 miles an hour.
Listen, much less than that, I could change a tire. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's not, we ain't doing that. We're not doing that.
Let me say hi to Linda Stapleton and Sherry Lynn, who says she's not going to teach her son Lamar car math. She has enough to worry about. Hi, Kimberly, Fluke, and Janelle Schoonover. Lamar, I think you are my spiritual driving mate.
There we go. See, I'm not the only one.
I don't drive recklessly, but I don't ever wash the outside of my car. I don't know why. I don't know. Kevin washed it like this summer,
Wow.
I think. How often do you wash your car?
Oh, I don't know. Every couple of weeks, every 3 weeks, something like
Really?
that. Yeah.
How often do you wash your car?
I had Carla for her car. She had the car wash membership. Okay. And so you could go and wash the car 5 times a day, every day.
Did she?
And so, no, that's the whole point. We're paying this money every month. And I mean, we're going by the car wash. We can see it. Everywhere we go, we can see it. And she never goes. And so I went ahead and I paid the money to have it detailed out and then have the ceramic coating put on there. So all you got to do
It's just
is just throw some water. You know what I mean? But then that falls to me. That was a mistake. Okay. At least when I had that car wash thing, I could look at Carla and say, "Why don't you go wash the car?" But see, now she's like, "I wish I had my car wash thing back."
Yeah, that you never used.
That you never
one
used.
time.
But she's like, "I wish I had it back because the car's never clean."
Heather just said to me, "I have never washed my car." You have never washed your car.
Not
You
since
know
I
what?
got it 4 years ago.
You've never washed your car in 4 years. See, I respect. Respect. My daughter drives the Starship Dancercise, and that hasn't been washed. I don't even know when, but the interior's clean since the sunroof sprung a leak and a downpour came inside.
That'll clean some stuff up.
It did. Yeah.
Calvin Frank from Minot, North Dakota said he went with his 11-year-old daughter and her friend to Mount Rushmore. I really need a drink.
I love that place.
I do too.
I love that place.
I
I
do
do
too.
too.
My kids had to drag me out of there because we stayed late. And you know when the lights come up and the music starts playing, and man, I'm sitting there, I got tears rolling down my. What are you doing? I said, "I'm America. Oh my God, I love this country."
That was me when people bitch about Mount Rushmore.
God.
When they're like, I thought it would be bigger. Yeah, I said the same thing on my honeymoon. Okay. First of all, it's giant ass men's head carved into a mountain
detail.
With detail.
You can tell who they are.
And
it's not just like a terrible kid's
yeah,
picture.
you're not like
They look like who they are.
Like at no time do you go, I
God.
guess that's George Washington.
Which one's George and
Right.
which one? Yeah,
But the thing that people don't realize is you're here and the mountain that Mount Rushmore is carved on is there. Did you want to tunnel up Washington's nose? Like you can't get any closer. It's
and a
spectacular.
man got out there with a jackhammer and some dynamite, and
Yeah.
he did that. Come on. In fact, we left there and went over where the guy's working on what's the chief? The
Crazy Horse?
Crazy Horse. Oh, Crazy Horse. Oh my
Right?
gosh. Yes.
That probably won't even be finished like in our children's
it's gonna take
lifetimes.
a long time.
But anytime someone like this is like a total litmus test for me. If someone's been to Mount Rushmore, I go, yeah, what did you think? If they go, I'm like, we're never going to be friends.
No.
Because you have no sense of wonder.
Do you know how we decided to go there? Me and the kids, me and my boys and Kaylee, we're at Cracker Barrel having the Country Boy special. God, it's a great thing. But anyway, so we're at the Cracker Barrel, and you know how they got the little tent there that's advertising all the desserts and whatever. Well, I flipped through and it's got a picture of Mount Rushmore. It says, this is a great place to visit. So I'm sitting there and I whipped that around. I said, I want to go see this. And they said, yes.
Yes.
We piled up in the car and took off. And I mean,
and stayed in Kadoka.
Yes. And called Max. I called Max. I says, we're in Kadoka. He goes, where are you staying? I said, I'm staying in this little hotel. And I described it to him. And then he said, is it got wood paneling? And when you go in the bathroom, it's got that pink squares like it's fake tile. I said, yes. He said, I stayed in the exact same hotel when I was a kid, and it hasn't changed any. He said, and when I talked to him, we were in the diner down at the thing eating breakfast. And he said, what are you doing now? I said, I'm eating breakfast at this diner. He said, when you look across the street, is it the fire station? I said, oh my God, that's exactly what it is. Oh yeah, it was so cool.
It's so awesome.
Yeah.
And the whole, like, as you're riding to go to Mount Rushmore, you'll come around a bend and you can see it in the distance. I mean, I had my head out the window like a dog. I was so excited.
Oh God.
The only way that could have been better for me is, originally when they built Mount Rushmore, there was going to be a sealed special
secret room
for archives
yeah.
for American historical documents, and they never got to finish that. The only way it could be better for me is if you could get into that.
Yes.
If you could get somehow behind the scenes and into that.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. Hey, Melissa Flynn. She's studying her training guide for her new position with the post office. Yay, girl. Oh, Sherry Wall says, watch North by Northwest. Shows how great.
Yeah, that's a movie with Cary Grant.
Oh, yeah.
We got a Cary Grant mention on Happy Hour.
Yes.
It wouldn't be the Bob and Sherry show without one.
Hey, Bob, we just mentioned Cary Grant. I know if you can hear me in the bathroom or not.
Stop banging on the door. You have water. That'll teach him to be sassy.
Damn right.
When I told him to go sit on the sassy chair, he wasn't expecting to be that one. Okay. Let's see. I watched a documentary. Chamonix, did I say your name right? Chamonix Willis. I watched a documentary on Mount Rushmore. It was fascinating. Yeah, I don't know if it's the History Channel or Discovery or Science, but there's a Rushmore documentary. You've seen it. We've all seen it. That makes its way around basic cable.
God, so
like the vision.
Yes.
This is what gets me about people that are like,
and this happened a long time ago.
Yes.
This is like back a long time ago, and he's up there doing us. When he attacked
Borglund, Augustus Borglund. Was he French?
It was another nationality, but oh my God, he was awesome.
So here's the thing: like Mount Rushmore was supposed to be so much more than it is.
Well, it was supposed to be more of their bodies involved with it as well.
But it's the standard thing, oh, we didn't have any money. Well, today you'd have a GoFundMe or whatever. Or Mount Rushmore would be sponsored by Amazon Prime. I don't know. But yeah, we didn't.
The Crazy Horse thing, though, is nice.
It's going to be
beautiful.
Something.
It is. I can't think of, I wish I could say the saying that's outside the door when you walk in the little museum. But it's something like, I don't know, we were told blah, 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 blah. But we've heard that from white people before. I don't know. It was really a cool Indian. It was very powerful. It was very powerful. So they never took any government money. None.
No, that's all privately
funded. The government offered them money, a grant, and all this kind of stuff, and they said, "Nope, don't want it. Don't want it. Wouldn't take it."
One thing and by the way, Max, I just saw it. Stacy doesn't. That is you. You need to speak, so she believes it's really.
Oh, hello. Yes, it's really me.
It's really Max. One of the things I remember from when we were at Mount Rushmore with the kids was they were serving ice cream made from Thomas Jefferson's original recipe at Monticello. And yes, right? So because Thomas Jefferson discovered ice cream while he was in France during the whole revolutionary, fight for American independence. And he brought the recipe back to Monticello, and it was, and they ate ice cream, right? So his recipe was really simple. It was milk and cream, and I think egg yolks and sugar, and it was just this really simple thing. But so you're standing there, you're looking up at Mount Rushmore. Your kids are eating Thomas Jefferson's ice cream recipe. I'm sorry, people. Do I have to go topless too? Like, what is it going to take?
It don't get any better than that. It really does not.
Amy Pressler said, I was a summer missionary in South Dakota in 1995, and the highlight was being able to go to Mount Rushmore and Crazy Horse.
See? That's what I'm saying. That is, those are fantastic works of art. I mean, it's ridiculous.
There are so many cool things. Like, there's so many cool things in America. Yes, they're touristy. Yes, you've heard about it a million times. Get your bitch ass to go look at the Statue of Liberty. Okay,
it's awesome.
It's awesome. Worth it. The Washington Monument, the Lincoln Memorial. Yeah, it's crowded. Yeah, you saw it in Planet of the Apes or whatever, but it's so awesome.
Go to the Empire State Building. Go wait in line.
Yeah. Which movie was the Lincoln Memorial? the Lincoln Memorial, and it was an ape instead of Lincoln
Oh,
in one of the.
well, maybe that was the Planet of the Apes. I thought that
the original Planet of the Apes at the end.
It's the Statue of Liberty.
It's over
But-
to the side.
But
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
he didn't
movie-
There may have
my
been
movie
another one.
critic-
Yeah, it was.
the
It was.
reboots.
Yeah. The reboots have been just crazy. It's crazy now. It's just it's
Yeah.
a bunch of gorillas on horses, and the other people saying, "Shoot them!" I mean, it's crazy.
it's a lot.
It's got out of hand.
But one of them ends with, and I think there are 4 maybe. One of them ends with they're at the mall at Washington where you've got the monument on one
Yeah.
side and the Lincoln
Okay.
Memorial, and it's a slow zoom, and they go up the steps, and you're expecting Abraham Lincoln, but I don't know. It's like the leader
the leader of the thing.
of the apes from Planet of the
Yeah,
Apes. So yeah, it's some of that stuff that is super cliched is also.
But there's a reason it's a
super worth
cliche.
it.
It's because it's people go there because it's worth it.
Stacy Brown, Max, still waiting. I'm not sure. What am I supposed to do? Dance?
It is Max. He doesn't have his ID.
I mean, I don't know
with him.
what else I'm supposed to do. I mean, it's me. I mean, I have no other way to identify myself.
It's
Do you listen to True Weird Stuff? That's me going, True Weird Stuff.
Oh,
So,
that ought to do it.
did that do it? Apparently not. Oh, well.
You can also hear him on Talking Lamar, which you also need to be listening to. Just saying.
And I'm on a show called The Bob and Sheri Show pretty regularly, too.
people are like, oh, them. I hate them. I really hate her. Like, shut up. Let's
Well,
see.
you're so uppity.
Hi, Mary Kay Tucker. Erica Wolf would like to see you dance, as a matter of fact. Katie Every, the World War II memorial is amazing.
Oh,
The-
yes.
The
Yes.
Vietnam,
Yes, yes.
the wall,
Ooh,
the Vietnam
wall.
War Memorial in Washington will take your breath away. Like,
It's very quiet. It's one of the quietest places you ever go.
yeah.
So
When they
quiet.
first opened that, people would veterans would go down, and you could see they would find their comrades that had passed, and they would go down and take a
Paper
like
and-
a rubbing,
rubbing.
of
Yeah.
their names, and that they would do that all the time. And people would leave stuff like packs of cigarettes and all kinds of stuff. It was a very haunting place.
The first time I went
Mm.
to that, there was a family, and I guess it was their grandfather who was killed in Vietnam. The entire family was there, and they were paying. It was their first time, because you know me, I'm nosy.
Oh yeah.
I prefer to think of it as enthusiastically curious about my fellow
Inquisitive.
humans.
Yeah.
But it was such an emotional moment
Yeah.
for that whole family, because they had lived with this sacrifice and this service, and then to see it is a whole different thing. I mean, if you've ever been to the cemetery, in
Right.
Oh,
Arlington,
Oh,
to watch
my.
that guy go back and forth.
Oh,
And
you,
then
the Tomb of the Unknown is
the
what you're
Tomb of the
talking about.
Unknowns,
Right,
and,
right.
and the heels are clicking, and he's just
And they are out there in any kind
Doesn't
of weather.
matter. Doesn't
Does not
matter.
matter. They are out there.
No matter what, it's storming. They're out there. They're out there.
I'll tell you what else you need to go look at, and don't be a crybaby about it. Go to Independent. If you're ever in Philadelphia, go to Independence Mall and slap your eyeballs on the damn Liberty Bell.
Yes.
And I know you're going, it's a replica. Yeah, okay, whatever. Like, go look. And then you can go. There's this whole, Max knows this part of the area, the world pretty well too. You can walk by Dolly Madison's house and Betsy Ross. Dolly Madison is not just a snack cake, people. Okay. Betsy Ross, where she sewed the flag, there is the room where the signers of the Declaration of Independence gathered to sign the document.
Yeah, if you take the bus tour around, and I did, I don't know, a few years ago, because I was doing touristy things, and I went around, and the one place they went past, they said, this is where they used to print the Saturday Evening Post and the Ladies' Home Journal. It's where my grandfather worked as a pressman. We went by there. I was like, oh.
Oh,
I've flown into Boston to go somewhere. I've never been, and I want to go.
Oh,
And we were
Lamar,
and
you
we-
would lose your
yeah,
mind.
and so we
Yeah.
were there the other week, but we were trying to get to Massachusetts. To Maine, and so I would just love to do that walk and all of that stuff. I would
now,
love to do
but
it.
you did see some history. So the Airbnb that we stayed in, which let me quote Bob, one bathroom, six people. Which, accurate.
Pick a number.
So look, it's 1:00 in the morning and there's no parking because everyone's in bed. And the Airbnb said there should be street parking, but if there isn't, sometimes we find parking by the park. So the park turned out to be an ancient, like Revolutionary War era cemetery.
And it would have been fantastic to walk through.
Yeah.
I mean, because the stone, oh my gosh,
like
it was crazy.
Everything was
crazy.
Crazy. So it took us about 40 minutes to find a parking space. But then we did walk past some early American colonial history when we walked by that cemetery.
Yeah.
Hey, who wants to hear a fun fact? This is going to be in an upcoming episode of True Weird Stuff.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know this. So I've often said on the show and on True Weird Stuff that what you learn about America is really strongly dependent on where you grew up and went to elementary school. So like out in Wyoming, all we learned about was Manifest Destiny, Lewis and Clark, the Bureau of Land Management. Like that's all we learned.
Yeah.
Before I moved to Wyoming, all we learned about was the American Revolutionary War. And here's something a lot of people don't know. Benjamin Franklin, who is one of the American forefathers, one of the drafters of independence, and just an all-around Renaissance dude. So Benjamin Franklin was pro-independence. He did not believe in monarchy. He wanted the American colonists to break free and form their own sovereign nation, a republic if you can keep it. But his son, William, was a British loyalist. Did you know this?
No.
Oh, wait, there's more. William Franklin was appointed by King George to be the British royal governor of the colony of New Jersey. And so as the American War for Independence ramped up, New Jersey was a major, Max knows this, New Jersey was a major battleground in the war for independence. So much blood was shed on that New Jersey soil. So William Franklin is the loyalist to the crown, governor of the state of New Jersey, colony of New Jersey. Here comes Benjamin Franklin. And Benjamin Franklin's like, son, you've picked the wrong side. You are beholden to a monarch. We are free. We are free men. This is a free nation. And his son was like, I don't think so. So the two became estranged. They never reconciled. And Benjamin Franklin almost cut William out of his will, except he left him a shit ton of completely worthless land that you could not build on or use in Nova Scotia. So Benjamin Franklin was America's first petty king. And that is the sort of thing, like, you didn't learn that in school, right? Did any of you learn that in school?
No.
Nope.
We don't learn our history in school. We only learn like the marketing campaign.
That's why I love on the History Channel the what history forgot. I love that show.
Yeah.
Marissa Lopez says there's a really cool Benjamin Franklin Museum in Philly where his house used to be. It's really cool as they left some archaeological sites covered with a window so you can see the basement and such. Yeah. Oh my gosh, the Franklin Institute in Philadelphia. You went on school field trips as a little kid. The Franklin Institute's amazeballs. One of the things they have at the Franklin Institute, and they still have it, it's so retro, because I went on a school field trip there too. Do you remember walking through the giant human heart?
No, sorry, I wish I could tell you I remember that, but I don't.
There's a giant human heart, and it pulsates, and there's lights and stuff. It's so low tech. But you go inside the heart, and here's the chambers and the ventricles. Listen, Gen X kids were easily amused.
Sure, we got drunk on those school field trips.
You were that bad boy.
Remember.
You were the bad boy. Mackenzie Jen says the Ben Franklin show on Max. Franklin never spoke to his son after the revolution. Exactly. They were, and you know what's so interesting is this is like the history of America. It's this political division in our nation and in our communities and our families is part of the American DNA in some ways.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, like if you really are a student of American history, you're kind of like, well, I'm not surprised that Uncle Pete's kind of a nut because it goes all the way back, right? Beth Dolan, Franklin Institute is so cool. Did you ride the bike on the wire? I took Olivia and Karamie to the Franklin Institute when they were little, and they were hungry, so it was lunchtime, and they were like, "Where are we going for lunch, Mommy?" I said, "We're going to go Philly style." So I made them get a soft pretzel, a hot dog, and a can of Sprite from a street vendor, and then I had them sit on the steps of the Franklin Institute to eat it as God intended. That's a proper childhood memory, Lamar.
Yeah.
Jane Cooper says, "What can I do so you guys get an award?" Oh, girl, not a thing. Not even a human
No,
sacrifice.
no. I'm sorry.
You
No.
have so many wonderful pieces
That's
to your
out.
podcast. I think you're the hardest workers in the field. Amen,
We
sis.
are. Yes.
You connect with so many people's heart. I just had to put this out there because yet another cool thing you're teaching us. Girl, can I just tell you, there is nothing that anyone short of God can do to get us an award. And we are the hardest working show.
And he's
radio.
teaching us humbleness.
Yeah, God,
He's teaching us humbleness. That's what he's doing.
God has a plan. God said, "You know what, Lamar? You grew up in a trailer with nothing, and you're going to keep getting nothing so that you learn."
Yes.
There you
Yes.
go.
My reward is in heaven.
Sheri, you've never had one safe moment in your life, and you can expect that to continue. And Max, hasn't it all been a disappointment? Why should that change?
Yeah.
Hi, Shannon. Hi, Nadine, who visited George Washington's boyhood home in Stafford, Virginia, and learned way more than you ever did in school. Yeah. You know what? Here's the thing. Like, we all wish we had a history teacher, like, I don't know, like the kind of teacher Robin Williams was in Dead Poets Society.
Yeah.
But, you know, teachers are locked into curriculums that they don't get to set. And if you go too far off, then you're not teaching the material that kids are supposed to learn.
Yep, it's true.
I always thought that asking kids to memorize dates of battles and treaties and all of that would be easier if you told the kids an amazing story about the Monroe Doctrine or Manifest Destiny, right?
Yeah.
Like if you knew the blood and guts true stories of American independence, you would feel differently.
Yeah.
We have a couple of Max and I have a couple of episodes of True Weird Stuff coming up in September that we're going to tell you some stories out of a very specific place. And it's impossible because we're such a young country. It's impossible to tell you a story about anywhere on the East Coast that doesn't touch the Revolutionary War.
Yeah, we are we forget. We think we're old, but we're nothing.
You go to England.
I took the kids. When I took the kids to England, we got over there and we we went to all these places, and I said, "This is why the rest of the world looks at us as a bunch of cowboys, because we're babies. We are babies. I mean, the oldest buildings we could possibly have is a couple of hundred years old, and we're going to places that have been there for centuries. I mean, centuries.
Unless you go west. So a couple of years ago, Kevin and I were in New Mexico, and there's a place outside of Santa Fe. It might be 20 or so miles outside of Santa Fe, and it's a Pueblo city.
Oh.
And you can climb down into the underground structures, like on the ladders.
Did you do it?
You bet I did. And we managed to go there on a day when there wasn't anybody else there. It was blue sky, green grass, red rocks, and the only sound was the wind coming across the land.
Oh, man.
And we climbed down into the various buildings, and we spent hours and hours there. So America, like our history, the history of the American colonists who fought for and won independence is short. But the history of people living on this continent is long.
Yeah.
Like thousands and thousands of years. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a place over near the Grand Canyon where the cliff dwellers were, and the natives lived in the cliffs, and you can walk along, and their abodes were hewn into the cliffs there, and that is a fascinating thing to see as well.
One of the neat things about like on the glass half full of having, you know, reckless young parents who just pick you up and move you all the damn time. You change school systems a lot. And every time you change school systems, you learn a different facet. Yeah. So Wyoming is ground zero for American paleontology as we know from that episode we did of True Weird Stuff, the
That's right.
bone hunters. So most of our early discoveries of fossils of dinosaurs came from Wyoming. Did you know that?
Nope, I did
Yeah.
not know that.
Wyoming was at one point the trains running in and out of Wyoming, and South Dakota is another one, running in and out of Wyoming. The carriage cars were stacked with gigantic like legs of dinosaur fossils, and
Really?
the people,
that.
they hollowed Wyoming out. And there was this one paleontologist. There was this big war between these two paleontologists. You can listen to the True Earth Stuff episode called The Bone Wars.
Yeah.
But this one paleontologist was battling with this other paleontologist to be the paleontologist because, and so, they got so salty with each other. This is a travesty and a crime. That guy got a train car full of dynamite and he blew up the dig site
Yeah,
in
that's right.
Wyoming. And countless, priceless, unimaginable historical artifacts.
Listen to that episode of True Weird Stuff. That is fascinating. That's a story that I had never heard before. I mean, it's just
Wyoming's dinosaur country. I told you guys, so my mom lives in the desert of Utah.
Yeah.
When the girls were little, we were out there visiting and my mom said, "Oh, my neighbor found a Tyrannosaurus Rex. You want to go see it?" "Yeah, Mom, I think I want to go see your neighbor's Tyrannosaurus Rex." "Sure, Borders is a good time. We can go look at books, or we could go see your neighbor's Tyrannosaurus Rex." So it was a farmer not too far from where my mom and stepdad lived in St. George, and they had a ton of land. And so you know how it is when you farm. You leave some fields fallow.
Yeah.
You alternate.
You have to do different rotation crops. Yeah.
So they had decided that they were going to let some fields go fallow and they were going to go further out. And it's difficult because, water and everything out west, water rights are an issue, but they went further out and they're tilling up the land in preparation for planting. And they hit something. So they stopped and they get out. Now these are solid Utah Mormon farmers. So they get out and Mr. Johnson, that's his name, is like, "Oh, that looks like a big leg." So they peel. "Oh, you know what? I think that might be a dinosaur." It is one of the biggest T-Rex intact skeletons.
Did they uncover it all, or they call some people?
Not only they brought paleontologists in. So when we went, it was a dig site. It was an active archaeological dig site, and there were scientists and paleontologists everywhere. And my mom's like, "Oh yeah, there are dinosaurs everywhere, Sheri." "Then why don't we go see those, Mom? Why don't we go see the dinosaurs instead of like the target?" But anyway, today that farm is a museum and an interactive science dinosaur farm. When you go to the American West, that's dinosaur country. Yeah. Let me say hi to B. Just back from Paris. The Louvre was built in 1541, and when they built the pyramid in 1980, they uncovered an unknown moat surrounding a fortress from the year 900 BC.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn, this is the History Channel tonight. It's the History Channel.
I said it wasn't going to be True Weird Wednesday, but I lied.
It kind of is.
It has become True Weird Wednesday.
It kind of is. But why wouldn't you be I don't understand people that are like, "Oh, did they find a Tyrannosaurus Rex?" Whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Why aren't you excited to find a giant dinosaur?
But they're excited to watch Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Because that's a different deal. Yeah.
Why aren't you more excited about that?
Yeah.
One of the other cool things, so when you're out in the desert, because the Great Salt Lake in Utah is the remnant of a giant inland ocean that once covered all of that part of America.
Yeah.
So when you're in the desert in Utah and parts of Nevada, you know what you can find? Trilobites and fossil seashells just on the ground. And
How come we didn't go look for that when we went out there, Mac?
I don't know. Hey, Jen Byram. She's
Hi,
saying
Jen.
hi.
Hi, Crystal. Jen, can I say I loved your post on Facebook about your radio career for National Radio Day? That was awesome. I was so glad that you did that. Bob is banging on the bathroom door.
Stop
now-
it.
He
Good
doesn't
God.
want to come out now because anytime I talk about deep time, it gives him the creeps.
Yeah, that's true. He's happy to be in there now.
He doesn't like past lives either.
Yeah.
So don't worry about
Well, no,
that.
yeah. Well,
He doesn't like
that's of the
that
devil, so I don't know what else to
either.
tell you.
Do you remember the day I told him about the baby souls waiting station?
He was so uncomfortable with that. Sure, I don't like it when you talk like that.
Oh my God.
Also,
Oh
Oh no,
no.
he doesn't do the baby souls.
No.
manifestation.
he doesn't have to do it or not do it. It is.
Okay, whatever.
I don't do gravity, and yet I'm not floating. Like, what are we doing here?
Lord Jesus, help me, Jesus.
I cannot even tell you all.
Help me, Jesus.
My heart was so filled with joy the day the show hadn't started yet, and we were all just every day we hang out together for a while before the show starts, just kind of check in on everybody. And the morning that Lamar said to me, "Girl, did you see what's going on with them scientists up on the space station that are stranded by Boeing?" My joy.
Listen, once again, I'm with you on a lot of things. That whole
Baby Souls Waiting
no.
Station. Do
that's
you
out.
know who
That's
you
out.
met in the Baby Souls Waiting Station?
I ain't met nobody nowhere.
Carla.
Carla, we're not going for that, baby. Don't worry about that. We ain't
Carla?
going. No, we're not going for that. We're not going for that. No.
I ain't going for taxes, and yet here we are.
When we get through with this, I'm praying for you. I really am.
I hope you do, because you're very powerful. Lamar has very powerful prayers.
No. Jesus has powerful prayers.
Right.
You're a powerful conduit.
Conduit. Okay.
Marissa Lopez says I found a sand dollar in the desert when
Wow.
our group stopped to pee behind a sand dune. Woohoo!
There is no shame
Nope.
in science
Nope.
and in understanding that, we're alive in this moment, right? But there have been moments before us and there'll be moments after us, and nothing stays the same. Everything is always changing. The land beneath your feet is changing. Everything is always changing.
It is.
Yeah.
Everything. I read a great quote today that said, "You did not choose when to enter the world. You entered the world at the moment it needed you." Now you can make that work with your belief
I'm good with
system.
that. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I'm good. Absolutely.
I didn't
I'm good
mention
with
the
that.
baby souls.
No.
waiting station,
I'm good. We're me and you were together on this. That's
that
right.
you are born not when you say I'm ready, but when the world needs something that you have. Isn't that beautiful?
That
I'm
is
still
beautiful.
trying to figure out what I have.
Yeah.
You make people happy, and you always play just the right music.
Oh
and
yes.
You have a
Well,
big contagious
well.
laugh.
Although this one woman don't believe you're you, but I mean, go ahead.
I love when people go, "Is that Max?" Tell him to laugh.
Oh yeah.
like it's a party trick, a parlor trick,
Let's see. So hi Dwight, and Mary Sockrider said came in late, hate joining sober. I know it probably sounds like you really did hate joining sober tonight. Max, you're great, according to Mary Sockrider.
Oh,
He
isn't
doesn't
she
believe it
sweet?
though. He doesn't believe it.
Oh, you're
His internal voice just said, "Yeah, great at not being great."
Hey, Kathy.
But I'm consistently great at not being great.
Kathy John LeMaster. Yes, no soothsayer. No, I agree. I'm with you. No soothsayers either. We're done with that. I agree with you. I'm just no.
Horoscope? What about the horoscope?
Oh, it's of the devil.
And yet every week when Charlie's like, "Gemini, you're the life of the party, and everyone loves you, and you're sexy as the day is long," and Lamar's going, "Damn straight."
Well, hell, who don't know that?
Yeah, damn straight, girl.
You ain't got to look at the horoscope for that. I mean, my God.
It's funny how he's like, the horoscope's not of the devil when it's saying everyone loves you, and you're going to get money out of nowhere.
Well,
Meanwhile, it gets to Max, and it goes.
Linda Stapleton says Max's Laugh is available on iTunes. Really? Because
it?
I haven't gotten any royalties
No.
lately.
yeah, you
I
know.
really.
Cheryl Newton, there's a listener isn't familiar with baby souls. She likes it because it makes
Let it
Bob
go. Let it
uncomfortable.
go. Let it
makes
go.
Lamar uncomfortable.
Let it go. You don't want to know. It's not going to help you at all. It's not.
It makes Lamar and Bob
No.
uncomfortable for different
You're
reasons.
not going to be able to sleep. Let that go. Talk about Bigfoot.
Can we? Okay, for just 1 second. For just 1 second.
1 second.
Just 1 second. The current episode of True Weird Stuff, Big Money Monster. I swear, if you're a skeptic, this is the one that
This
brings
is
you
the
into
one.
the tent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Sherry and I were talking about this, and I was sort of a Bigfoot. I went, okay, aliens, Bigfoot. I don't know about that. I'm a believer now. I am an absolute believer now in Bigfoot.
Yeah.
This episode, we told the whole story through police reports because it was so well investigated.
Yeah.
And the police themselves, it wasn't like, my name is Dwayne and I saw a monster. No, it wasn't
No,
like that.
no.
The police themselves
Yeah, saw stuff.
and heard stuff
Yeah.
and experienced stuff. It's very, don't you
Yeah.
think it's very compelling?
Yeah. You got to leave it open. I got to leave it open.
And we're not
Baby
even
souls? No. Bigfoot? I'm open. I'm open to Bigfoot.
But in this episode, we're not even talking about Bigfoot as something like magical or metaphysical. It literally, we're talking about a remnant species of primate.
Yeah.
And it's not like it could easily, if there's just a few, they could stay off the grid.
This country is so big.
Yes.
This country is so big. So big. And so much of the land is undeveloped. So out west, you are allowed to camp on public land. It's marked BLM, which means, I know for some people, it means Bureau of Land Management.
Yeah.
Because ranchers have grazing rights on public lands, right? So you're allowed to camp and go off-road and travel, hike, drive, or whatever on BLM lands.
For a certain amount of time.
You just, they make you move on after X number of days, but you just can't crisscross in and off private land. But once you go off-road onto that public land and keep going and keep going and keep going, and you've got no cell service, there are no people, no houses, no lights, no infrastructure of any kind. And then you hit like the Wasatch Mountain Range or the Teton Mountain Range. Get back to me about how you know everything about America, right?
Yeah. I went hiking just about 3 weeks ago. They even had the beware of Bigfoot signs because they had Bigfoot sightings. So I told my girlfriend, I would see Bigfoot. And she goes, enough with your nonsense.
Just saying.
One of the things, like, we've done 2 Bigfoot episodes.
Right.
And both of them, the first was with a tracker, retired Air Force officer.
Who we sought out, who his wife said it wasn't somebody who was a known person who's done books or interviews or anything. He's never talked about it before. And she said, he loves Bigfoot. He tracks it. So we talked to him and, oh my God,
he's never talked to anyone before or since. His wife said to me, let me hook you 2 up. I'm so tired of hearing it.
That is a wife.
But
She's sick of hearing it.
He has incredible photos. I mean, he was in Oklahoma at a pivotal Bigfoot sighting back in the 70s as a child, little boy, and it shaped his whole adult life. So we did that episode, and that kind of brought both of us like, But then
this one really did. The Big Money Monster.
It's chilling to hear.
You should.
Calvin wants to know what your brown liquor is tonight.
Four Roses Select. You cannot buy a better bourbon for the price.
That's bourbon. That's right. Macallan is Scotch, right?
Scotch, yes. Can't buy better Scotch than that either. But.
This is Lipton Diet Green Tea,
and it is excellent. I've been drinking it. It is excellent. It's really good.
This is the first of several that I intend to pour down my gullet. So we're almost out of time for tonight's happy hour. So can we just say that we're so glad that you were able to jump in with us tonight, because we really hated to go a week without happy hour. And also we needed to do proof of life for Max.
Yeah.
Right.
And Tony's here too.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
And Doc's here, but he's way over there.
He's working.
He's actually working.
He's the only one that's working.
He's working.
He's the only one that's working. He works all the time.
He does. and he doesn't complain out loud.
No. But he looks at us very suspiciously.
Sometimes, Doc,
It's a side eye. He gives us a side eye.
let me just say, as a woman, I know when a man is sick of my bullshit by his face. And sometimes I've had a lot of experience with a man whose face is going, I ain't gonna say it, but I'm so sick of this.
Yeah. I think he's sick of all of our bullshit.
Oh yeah,
I
I
think he's
didn't.
just
It wasn't
yeah,
just me.
yeah,
Like sometimes at the end of like a long day, Doc is
Yeah.
like,
It's,
I might be
it's,
sick of you.
it's really great. But he puts up with us, though. And I
So
think
Doc,
it's
Doc,
very
are you
nice.
there? And he goes, I'm here.
I'm here. Yeah, I'm here.
But there's always that pause where you can tell he's deciding, do I?
Do I want to say I'm here?
How much gas do I have?
Yeah.
And how far can I get?
Oh, God, I'm here.
So,
It's a desperation.
So, let me tell you, even though we're a couple days early, what the People's Movie Critic is going to review this week. Last week it was Tickled, and I've heard from so many people about like, whoa, that was bizarre.
Crazy.
On Netflix.
It is crazy. What am I reviewing this week? Oh,
Whatchamacallit?
Hitman.
Hitman, yeah.
God, because who's my man? Glenn Powell. That's my man.
Lamar is having a Glenn Powell summer.
I am. I love him. I mean, he's strong.
You know what that makes me wonder if, now bear with me,
Oh, God.
in the baby soul's waiting.
No! Jesus. Jesus. I call on you, Jesus. Oh, my God. Jesus.
Jesus is like, I had her in Catholic school. There's nothing that can be done.
Boy,
Lamar.
I got to tell you, yeah, he knows all about you from Catholic school.
Sometimes, though, I like to blow Lamar's mind with some of the gospel and
He's put me
scripture I have
here. He's
memorized.
put me here to save you. He has put me here to save you. That's all I'm saying.
Sometimes just to make Lamar jump, I'll go, like it says in the book of Matthew.
Oh. Hey, the devil knows every word of the Bible. I'm just going to go ahead and say he believes. I'm just saying.
So we're going to let Bob out of the bathroom and check out Friday morning when
He's
Lamar
gonna be
reviews
mad. He's gonna
Hitman.
be mad.
And this week's Talking Lamar, we got a new Talking Lamar. And speaking of the Baby Soul's waiting station, seriously, this week's Talking Lamar, we're going to talk about all the invisible strings that pulled
got us all
together.
right here because we come from everywhere. And for whatever reason, all the years, it put us all right here as a family. And it's crazy.
Baby
It
Soul's
is
waiting
crazy.
station.
No. Jesus, she knows not what she says. Jesus, she knows not what she says.
Jesus, she definitely knows not what she says.
Oh!
You can't have a career in radio, Jesus, if you know what you say.
Oh, my God.
Cheers, everybody. Cheers.
Cheers. We love y'all so much. Thank you
Love
for
you.
listening.
See you next week.
Thank you. This may be